What's up, E.D.G family? Kevin here. Today, well, this is my all things Crokinole video. As most of you know, I got this about a month ago, maybe a little bit more than a month ago, and I've had some time to really spin with it now. I've had some great experiences on it, but I also am starting to realize not very many of you actually know too much about Crokinole. So first of all, this is Canadian. This specific board is from Crokinole, Canada, and it's been around for quite a long time. I think something on like the BGG says it's been around like since like the late 1800s, and it is a very popular dexterity game. These boards can cost you anywhere from, for like a handmade, pretty good quality one, about $150 to about $350. This is somewhere in between, and then you got to factor the shipping on. Canadian shipping. But we're going to talk about this game a little bit today. I am enjoying it. I have pretty much, I don't have anything too I don't think really have anything bad to say about this game. It's a little pricey to get into, but once you do, I feel like it's a great investment. It's something that you're going to be playing on for years, and hopefully, like right now with all the holidays coming up, this board's going to get a lot of play. I'm going to get to introduce a lot of people to Crokinole. So since I've got this board, I've got 4 sets of discs. I have some orange ones, some red ones, some white ones, and some purple ones. And these probably won't be the last colors I get. I kind of like the idea of having different color combinations on the board. But these are what you're going to be shooting. This is what you're going to be shooting on the board. And I will show you a little bit of how that works. All right, so we got our board here. We got our discs. You wouldn't need this many discs unless you're playing like a 4-player free-for-all. In fact, a lot of the times, the only way I've actually played 4 players is a doubles where each team splits the discs and they shoot across from each other. But we're not going to quite get into that yet. We're going to talk about basic Crokinole. So in basic Crokinole, we have 2 players, and they would sit across from each other. Actually, you know what? I want the red disc. Anyways, so they would sit across from each other, and they would both take, per the NCA rules, you would have 8 discs to start. And when you start, you would choose, who's your starting player. All right, white gets to go first. And you would start with a completely open board. So the rules are, when the board is open and you are the first player, you must shoot towards center. So that would consist of, let's get a little bit of wax here. That would consist of you lining up your shot, and when you line up your shot, you can line up your shot anywhere in your shooting region right here in your quadrant. And you can actually go as long as your disc is touching that line, that intersection, you would be able to shoot from there. Well, you might not want to necessarily shoot from there on the opening shot, but so I left it short. Not a great start, but that means we can talk about what the next player has to do now. So the next player, pretty straightforward for them. Their shot must make contact with that first disc. It doesn't necessarily matter about shooting towards center, but they have to make contact with that disc. And that would be a valid shot. And then play would continue from there until you were out of disc to shoot. So let's say opening shot, first player, oh, that's a little short. The first player makes their shot. So this would come off the board, and we would put it off to the side, and that would be 20 points right there. This would come off, that's 20 points. And now the next player, they would be doing the same thing. They were the same rules. They have to shoot towards center. So when they shoot towards center, yeah, they can make a 20, it can go off, but if it stays inside that circle, not touching the line, it's worth 15 points if it stays on there. If it's touching the line, it actually scores to the lower region, and that would be 10 points there. This would be 5 points, and then anything Obviously not open board, but after you can shoot and you don't have to shoot towards center, anything on this outer side, um, it goes off the board. It's out of play. So a couple more things about shooting. You can so if your opponent has a disc on and you have a disc on, you can hit your own disc. You can shoot and make contact with your own disc. The only rule is your disc still has to make contact with your opponent. That would not be good. That would count, and these would stay on the board, and the opponent would get 20 points. But had I not contact with my opponent, all discs that are in play are coming off the board because that is an illegal shot. It did not make contact with your opponent's disc, and that's it. So you keep doing that. You keep shooting until you're out of discs, and then you would tally them up, and you would count whatever 20s are made, and then whatever else is on the board, and you would kind of cancel scoring, kind of like you would in shuffleboard. And then you would figure out who the winner is. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can play this. You can play to 100. You could say, hey, first person to 100, they win. And that could be a long game, could be a short game, kind of depends. But the other way they do it is if you win the game, you get 2 points, and you would continue on until you could play to like 6. You'd set a score, 6, 7, 8, whatever you want to get played to. Draws, each player would get a point apiece, and you would go from there. In fact, that's kind of how I play, just because I feel like the games are quick enough, and you've got like 4 or 5 matches, and you're not like consumed with this huge overhead score that could potentially be like 65 to 20. Somebody's probably not having fun at that point. So that is one way to play, and that is how most people play when they're playing 2-player. Now the next thing you can do is you can play doubles, and all that really changes about this game is you're sitting across from your teammate, and you both have 12 buttons that are divided between you. So you would each have 6, and it would be basically the exact same way, the exact same scoring, and that is basically how you play the game of Crokinole. I mean, there's probably some small little minor rules I might be forgetting, but that is the basics. This is a very, very simple game. So I've enjoyed this game so much, and even though I've had some pretty good experiences with people, this guy, we picked myself up some Crokinole cards. And so this kind of gives you like an elimination style variant. But how I've been playing is I've been playing the solo mode for this. And anybody that doesn't have this is a great little addition to Crokinole. I kind of helps you practice. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with 4 cards, and it's basically going to put discs on the board. So there's a location. Let's grab some. That's festive. Let's go with this. It's fall. So the first one's going to go here, and then we're going to put a second one, and that one's going to go, looks like it's going to go here. And we're going to grab a third one. That one's going to go there. I did shuffle these. And the fourth one is going to go here. So you can play on a couple different modes. Easy, normal, hard. I think normal is actually pretty easy for me. But I assume if the cards come out in a really difficult way and you get a different spread, it could be hard. But here's what's going to happen. So I have 4 shots to take all of these discs off and then make it 20. So how I would start here is I would maybe go over here and try to combo 2 of those off. And the other thing you can do during this game is you can pull your disc off at any point. So if it's in your way of a shot, you can take that off. And we can go for this next one. I'm not getting too crazy on me, but that one's gone. We could leave that. That might potentially be useful. I'm pretty good at like my bump shot 20s. Let's go ahead and leave that guy. We'll go for this last one. There we go. All for the money. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them. So I could potentially win this in the first round. and I did. Great. I don't think I probably could have done that again, but so that would basically be how you win the game in one round. So what I like to do is I like to play different levels, which if I had left something on there, we would roll the dice and then it would add additional cards. And some of these cards can get kind of nasty. I mean, I didn't have anything crazy on the other side where I had to shoot across the board, but I mean, they have cards that, would put one potentially over here, kind of hide behind that peg. There's one, yeah, all the way on that side. They got some doubles, some double shots that are kind of fun. That are, where's that guy at? On disc. Double disc. So the double disc, and they would be like putting them over here. And so those would go off on one card. So you get a couple doubles where, you miss that, you're in trouble. And then they have some other little wild cards in here like stakes. Like if you lose at the end of the next round, if there are 2 or more opponents discs on the board. So that's the other thing. At any point you're drawing and you get more than, you're going to add, and it's more than 4, you're in trouble. Like you have to at least be able to clear 1, and then it kind of puts you up against the wall. And so that's basically how you play Crokinole cards. Like I said, it's a fun little practice game. There's a little dice, so it's got like some randomness to it, but I like it. I like it's a good little practice game. In fact, I just played one right there. I mean, like I said, I would play level 1, level 2, level 3, and like I said, that kind of just increases what the disc does. Not the disc, what the dice does when you roll it, like how many cards you have to draw. But yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot. Definitely looking forward to taking it with the family, teaching some more people how to play this. I recently just did a top 10 dexterity game. I won't tell you whether this is on it or not, but I definitely contemplating both ways, not putting it and putting it on there, just because how recent it is. When you get something new, it's super fun to play new games. And this is definitely a new game for me. I'm looking forward to playing a lot of Crokinole. I'm really enjoying this. This board's fantastic. I'm hopefully will be able to. I'm gonna mount this board soon. Hopefully somewhere on the wall and show it off. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a lot of other different ways that you can play the game other than just that. I mean, you can play it with 3 players. You can play it with 4 players. Like I said, free for all. Everybody has their own disc. Everybody has 8. That kind of gets a little crazy. There's a lot of different variants I've seen played to kind of handicap some players. And then there's just a lot of different practicing drills you can do. I've done one where you put 8 discs, kind of similar to that. You put 8 discs, but you're putting them all around the pegs, and you have 8 shots to take them off and score as many 20s at the end. I don't know if I mentioned this. There's like it's a wax. It's not necessarily a shuffleboard. It's very similar to shuffleboard wax. It may be shuffleboard wax, but it came with the board. All right, well, thanks for watching me talk a little bit about Crokinole. Hopefully this, if you were interested in potentially getting your own board, hopefully this kind of helps you make a decision on that. Is this something that you'd like to play? I mean, I can definitely leave a comment. I tell you more about it if you didn't think this was quite informative enough. I do have a bag for it. It's quite large. They're 30 inches, I think, 30 inches in diameter. And they do weigh quite a bit, so take that into consideration when you buy one. Like I said, I'm currently storing in my bag, but I'm hoping at some point to maybe potentially mount it back there, and that would be a lot of fun. I'm hoping maybe we can get some more like Crokinole actual plays maybe on the channel. That would be a lot of fun. Maybe doing a little tasting and and doing some more Crokinole. That'd be some channel goals for sure. But definitely leave me a like. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you tuning in to Eat.Drink.Game, and I will see you on the next one. Much love.